Rise and shine, everybody. It's time to wake and bake with Craig Reed and Griff Martin.
It's a Stone Roadie Show, podcast 342. Take one, roll one, and burn one down, and roll 'em if you got 'em. Alrighty then, fellow Stone Roadie Dimension. Hey, looky here, looky here. Hey, my name's Craig Reed, a.k.a. the Stone Roadie. This is my co-host, co-pilot, and the rocket scientist, Griff Martin. And it's Monday. It's December the 22nd. And it's yesterday, December the 21st, was the shortest day of the year. So December the 22nd, the days start getting longer. We're going towards summertime. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Anyways, so yeah, Griff, what the heck we got going on this fine Monday morning there, Copy?
Seems like every day's a short day to me. And the older I get, the shorter they are. I don't know what's going on, man. It's got something to do with the flat earth or something, I think. I don't know. But getting close to Christmas. And I talked to Gene. There's a guy, he wants to go fishing with Gene, and he emailed me and said he wants to go fishing with Gene. Well, he wanted to go fishing with me, and I said, well, I'll hook you up with Gene. And so Gene's supposed to get back from Oklahoma by the 29th, and we're going to go fishing. Hopefully, if it's not too cold, if the planets all align and Gene makes it back and everybody's where they need to be, and I'll record it. So that would be pretty cool. So that's supposed to happen on the 29th. And I think there's another opportunity on the 31st if that doesn't work out on the 29th. But I didn't tell Gene that, because if you tell Gene there's another option, he will take that other option regardless. So we'll see if he makes it back. And if he makes it back, and then we'll go fishing, and I'll take my Pocket 3 out there that Robert Wheatley hooked me up with. This is what I do all the video recording with. And then also has this neat little microphone that, you can clip on somebody. So that's what all the podcasters use, that little microphone. So yeah, more to come on that. And, I've also been kind of like talking to Joe Crimp. I told him, I said, get ready, man, because after the holidays, I'm coming up there, and we're going to go videotape that, the story about the oak tree you're in my way. And so Joe knows that I'm going to start really bugging him about that. And there's going to be a couple of On the Roads with Griff Martin coming up first of the year that I'm going to be working on. So I know you guys like to see when I get out and we go tell stories and things about skin formation. And this is a particularly interesting one, because nobody's ever gone to the place where the oak tree was, that wasn't really an oak tree, but it was a telephone pole. And that the song was written about Gary, and tell the whole story. Now, Derek Hess, I may be able to get him to come along. We'll see what happens with that. But it started at this teen club, and everybody was getting all drunked up at this teen club. And then Joe and Gary left that teen club, and they got in the car, and they were going around this curve, and they straightened that curve out and hit the telephone pole, and they ended up going up into somebody's carport. And then that carport was actually owned by a guy that Derek Hess worked with at the music store, and that's how he knows and got involved with the whole story. So a pretty interesting story, and we'll get Joe. I don't know if he'll be on the camera or not because he's a little camera shy, but we'll have him there at least to hear his voice and be able to tell the story about it. So I'm looking forward to that. And so that's coming up, and then hopefully the fishing trip too. So, Craig, you mentioned you got a donation from somebody.
Yeah. Well, Mark Frank, I talked to Mark Frank the other day, and he wants to thank everybody who donated to the Forgotten Survivors this year. Said he really appreciates it. And, let me find my sheet here. For Jack West, donated $40 for the Forgotten Survivors. Actually, he donated $25 for the Forgotten Survivors, and he told me to take $15 and just stick it in my pocket. But I'm gonna just donate my share to the survivors too. So, and I'm gonna add that to the total. I don't have that total right here with me, but right now it's like $1,178, I think, is the exact amount that we're gonna send out here. And and Jack, he sent me a rubber ducky for the tub.
Which Craig will use in the tub. Because Chad said he does use a rubber ducky in the tub.
In the tub. I don't have one now, but I'll try that one out. and then he also sent me a cool little guitar pipe.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That's got a screen in it.
Yeah.
What, is that like
says "Fly High Free Bird" on the back.
I wonder where the heck he found that at.
I don't know.
Definitely
pretty cool. Works pretty good. Let me try it out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
Oh boy, now my phone's ringing, huh? Of course, it's Chad, you know.
So thanks to Jack West for that. And I guess that's going to be the last donation for this year that we'll send out for that stuff. And then we got this. We don't have any. Surprisingly, we don't have any bids on this prison artwork here,
which is crazy that nobody's bidded on that.
Nothing.
Yet.
We haven't had any action on that.
I mean,
at all.
That's some pretty cool stuff. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
I'm kind of hoping nobody bids on it, and I'll just keep it for myself.
I'll go ahead and start the bid off on it. I'll start the bid off for $50.
All righty then.
Yeah,
it's
put me
nice.
Down for 50. Griff will put 50 on it, and I'm sure somebody.
I think it's like 16 by 16, and it's it's real nice. Show it again.
Oh.
Yeah, it looked nice in a frame.
Yeah, that's a cool thing, you know, hand done in prison. I mean, you can't, you know, you can't get any more unique than that. Somebody's sitting in a jail cell, you know, coloring that up. He probably had to get somebody to put some coloring pins in a cake and bring them to him or something, because, you know, I don't think they give you that kind of stuff. I don't know, you know.
No, that's a copy. That's a copy of the skit. He had one of them stickers, and he sent it to his buddy, and his buddy drew that, and it's got the snake head there, You see right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that was one that we actually had. It was a rattlesnake head. And I remember Clayton told me about it. He goes, I wonder what happened to that rattlesnake head. And then it was put on this artwork. I said, man, I don't remember I remember seeing it during some of the last shows, but I don't remember ever seeing it in the wardrobe stuff. When I got down to Jacksonville, it wasn't in the wardrobe stuff. So I don't know what happened to that snake head, but it was real cool.
Well, I'm kicking it off $50. I'm sure somebody's going to jump in there because they're not going to let me have it for $50. Because I guarantee you, I don't have a problem paying $50 for that at all. So
That's nice.
You know, and don't say $51. You know, at least go up 20, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got that right. Yeah, you got
And $20 increments at least. So, you know, 50, 70,
So-
you know, 90. Somebody probably ought to go ahead and throw 100 down on it. Which,
So I expect I'll get the rest of those the checks in for the T-shirts that Danny Barron donated. We got $800 out of those T-shirts, and so that was real good. And yeah,
They didn't expect that, you know.
No, he was real happy with that. Yeah, that we got.
Yeah,
that
he
much
sent
money.
me a text and said he couldn't believe it. You know that you know they fetched that much for shirts, which is they're unique. You can't find shirts like that anywhere.
No. Yeah, there's a nice. I like that one more for the road one. And I like that. So what was it? Sounds of the South, man. Yeah, Sounds of the South. I like that.
They got this new thing I noticed. It's called Ninja Transfers, where you can send them your art and they'll put it on a shirt. Now, I don't know how expensive it is, but would be pretty cool. But I think it's like an iron on. But it's supposed to be a pretty good one, comparable to a silk screen. So I don't know. You guys check out that Ninja Transfers and look at the comments on them and put it in the comments what you think about it if anybody's ever done that, because I might start, you know, if I can get some cheap enough, you know, I'll do some of these band stickers or something and offer them up and do a hell house and stuff like that. And we could start offering that kind of stuff on it if they'll just mail them directly to you, that kind of stuff. Maybe we can figure something out with that. Because these T-shirts are a pain in the ass to try to sell, you know.
Oh yeah, they are. They're expensive to ship too.
That's the problem, is the shipping.
Yeah.
But if you know, if I could order them right from the Ninja Transfers and have them sent to your house, you know, and then you send me the check or whatever, we could figure something out that way. But if I just want to see if anybody's familiar with that, it's direct transfers or something they call that. It's an iron on. It's a press on. You heat it on, but it's you can do, you know, one shirt or 5 shirts or 10 shirts. It don't have to be. You don't have to order a whole bunch of shirts. So that's what's cool about it. But it's called Ninja Transfers. So anybody knows about that, let me know. You know you could look it up and just like I did, but I'm looking for somebody who's actually had experience with it, and you know, not just go on there and go, oh yeah, you can do this, and you know, because I already know what you can do with it. But I'm just looking for somebody to see, you know, is it legitimate? Is it good product? And is anybody familiar with it? Have you done it yet? That type stuff.
You mentioned iron-ons. I just reminded me. I got a whole stack of dang Lynyrd Skynyrd iron-on things to iron on a T-shirt, and they're
You do?
Yeah, they're the Target. It's got the target, and then in the center, it's got the Lynyrd Skynyrd logo.
Where'd you get that at?
I have a whole stack of those somewhere.
How old are they?
50 years old.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, you need to break those out, man. Somebody'll.
Yeah, well, I'll break those out. Yeah, I'll have to dig those up. I don't know what they. I think I know.
Yeah, I wonder where you've got those.
No, I'm pretty sure they're out there in my cabinets out there.
Yeah,
yeah.
Think you can find them pretty easy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's something I can bug you about until the next.
Yeah,
podcast.
next podcast I'll show them. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
How many do you think you have?
I've sold I've offered them on eBay a couple times, but they didn't do very good, so I just kind of put them away.
Well, with them being so old, they might not work, but
yeah, they might not. Yeah,
but do they? Can you see what they are? They pretty clear.
Oh yeah, you can see
like?
what it is. Yeah, seemed like a long time ago. I tried to use one and something happened. It didn't work out too good. I don't know.
But if you signed them, Craig Reed, and then you signed, that'd be worth some money right there for somebody,
No, they're the original ones. They're old as shit, man.
That's collectible with a plane crash survivor roadie signature.
They might not be usable though. I mean, they might be too old. I don't know. Seems like
you have to try one.
Seems like I tried to do one time and it didn't work out very well.
Really? Yeah. Huh.
I don't.
That's something.
I just remember having them when you mentioned those iron-ons. It goes, oh God, I got those iron-ons.
Maybe we can do that on the podcast. You can get an iron out and we can sit there and we can see if it works. Yeah.
Let's see if it works.
That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I noticed that you posted on the Facebook a Bon Scott statue, and it had Lynyrd Skynyrd belt buckle on there. I'll put that picture up here because I dug it off of your Facebook, which I thought was pretty cool.
I noticed somebody said Leon gave that to Angus, and Angus gave it to Bon Scott. That's what somebody told us.
I think Joe Crimp told that story on the podcast that he got that from Leon because they were at Leon's house.
Yeah, over there on off of Bland. It was on Bonshire, or what the hell was that name of that street?
It wasn't Eagle Nest.
No, it was the little house before that. Yeah. It's where Leon lived when he gave me the Chevelle. That's
and just just a regular neighborhood, with a bunch of
little white house. Yeah, that's where we all were when Gary got his motorcycle, that 400 Honda, and I was doing burnouts in the street in front of Leon's house, and that's where when Alan went and got that 500 Kawasaki, and I went, oh no, Alan, no, don't even try.
Oh, really? That's where it was?
Yeah. I said, Alan, what I did on Gary's Honda 400, do not try that on that Kawasaki. He had to get one a little bigger. I said, that bike you just bought right there is he didn't have it very long. He did say it's scary.
I had one of those. I had one of those 500 Kawasaki. I had two of them. I had one for a parts bike, and then I had one that ran, and that thing was, dangerous.
I'd like to see what Alan did that made him quit doing it, but I bet he hit that throttle and that power band kicked in, and I bet his asshole puckered up like a prune.
Oh, he
got rid of it. Yeah, I bet that thing come up on him.
Joe was telling me a story about they were going down the road, and him and Gary were on theirs. And Alan went flying by, and it was either a dump truck or a bus or something, and Alan just missed it, and he didn't even know he just missed it. And I had to get Joe to tell that story whenever I go up there, and we do that oak tree, you're in my way. I'll get him to tell that story because that was a good story Joe told it about, because he was there when Alan had that bike.
Yeah, he didn't have it long.
It's a good
He
thing.
got rid of it.
That's a
Hey,
good
I wanted to
thing, man.
mention George Zellenball gave us that prisoner artwork there too.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's already got a bid for $50, and I'm sure somebody's going to top that now that I bid it on it because nobody's going to let me have that for $50, which is I'd be gladly give
Hell,
$50
I'll
for
outbid
that
that.
thing. Oh, well, what are you bidding on it, Craig?
No,
70?
I'm going to let it drag out and see who else bids on it.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what somebody
It's
else
nice.
does. It is nice. I mean, I'll put that sucker in a frame. You know, you could stretch that thing out like, like you would a canvas and put it in a frame, and that thing will look really cool. Of course, you've got it, so if I win the bid on it, you'll sign it and then you mail it to me maybe a year from now. Anybody else, you'd mail it right away, but
I
if
don't need it. Hell, I got gold albums laying on the floor, leaning against the wall that I don't have room for on the walls.
yeah, you got
My walls
enough
are
of them
already
on the
covered with
wall.
gold albums.
Yeah, you got enough of them on the wall too. A lot
I
of
do. I've got them laying on the floor against the wall. I don't have room to hang them.
people talking about that Allen video. We had to take that thing down, and normally I wouldn't think that's a big deal. That Facebook or YouTube wants to take something down, but I had it on the Griff Martin files, and they threatened to cancel my channel. And I was like, wow, they're getting a little serious about this. So I called Craig and I said, because Kent Griffith told me about it. And I told him, I said, man, I don't really give a shit, what they do. It don't bother me. But then they were like wanting to cancel the Griff Martin files if they found any more on there. And so I called Craig and I said, you better pull it down because it's a copyright thing, which I don't know, who's got a copyright on it that's complaining about it, but yeah, so we pulled that right down. But I'll tell you that there's a friend of mine who's a nurse, and she told me that arm does not look like an arm that would have an appliance on it. Like she said, there would be bruising, and that hole in the arm would be draining, and the whole arm would be swollen. And she said that she said she was a wound care nurse for many years, and that's not the only person. Another person told me that was a physician's assistant told me the same thing, that just don't look real. Something about that don't look right. And then there's a lot of people in the comments, and I'll read the comments, and they think it's bullshit too. But that did sound like Allen's playing, right, Craig? I mean,
Oh
definitely.
Yeah. Chad.
And that was his little warm up.
Chad was saying that warm up thing he was doing. He goes, Alan taught me that little lick he was doing there. Chad said, I still remember that.
Yeah, that little warm up ditty, that he played, sound like a little country thing. So I don't know if that's some kind of video with a little AI mixed in with it, or what. But there's a lot of people think it's bullshit. And
Talking about Chad, today's Chad's 54th birthday. God, I got a kid 54 years old.
Yeah, God, man, happy birthday there, Chad, if you're listening.
Yeah, and he got an early Christmas or early birthday present. He got his C license for his private investigator. He's a Magnum PI now. He said he's going to go get him a Hawaiian shirt and go get his.
I thought he already had that license.
No, he applied for it. He he's had a license, but it wasn't certified. He had a license, but you got to get him certified. That way you don't have to have a supervisor, something like that.
Oh, so you have to work under somebody else's license.
Yeah. You have to get like 1,500 hours or something, like working under by somebody before you can, even apply for it. So
well,
you got it.
Maybe hopefully
Finally.
hopefully it pays more. So congratulations there, Chad. Well, you ain't got anything else going, Craig. We can run through these comments and questions. I think you mentioned something about you and Kathy Godsey doing a Christmas thing.
I gave her. I just leave it up to her when she wants to do these, and I said, "Hey, man, it's Christmas is. If we do it on Saturday, Christmas isn't. It's 5 days later. That be weird to do a Christmas show." And then New Year's Eve is on a Wednesday, so we'd have to do a New Year's Eve on a Tuesday night, which is odd. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but we used to do a Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve too. But yeah, I guess she said we'll do a we'll record a Christmas one this week. She's got the week off, so she's.
I wonder what year did we start doing the podcast?
It's been 3 years.
Has it?
Yeah, this coming spring, it'll be 3 years. Yeah.
You sure did more than that?
Maybe.
Because I've been living in where I'm living now for more than 3 years, and we were doing it when I was living over in Cocoa Beach. So,
I don't know. We've done 342 of these suckers. I can't even believe that. I'm going,
yeah.
How?
That's crazy. That's pretty crazy.
That's crazy, yeah.
Okay, well, we got some really interesting questions and comments here that we'll go over, and then we'll leave you guys to go do your Christmas shopping, which I know you got a bunch of last minute things you got to go get. I don't have a lot of people. I just got grandkids. And this year I said, I'm just going to give them some money, because, and then my son-in-law, he sends me this list of stuff that they want. It's like, I mean, I guess, that's a good idea that, that they have a list of things that they want, but just like Craig says, you can shit in one hand and want in the other.
Wish in one hand and shit in the other to see which one fills up the fast.
I mean, I think you'll get what I give you. I don't know what the hell it is with these kids nowadays. I don't know if you guys had a list. I mean, you put a list out there for Santa when you were like 4 or 5 years old. My grandkids they're almost 13 years old. So, it's like you get a little bit too old for a list. But I just figure, give them some money and they go out there. Normally, I'll go buy them something, but the last time I bought them a go-kart and they haven't used the damn go-kart yet. They'd rather sit there on those tablets. And, if somebody gave me a go-kart, Craig, when I was a kid, I'd burn the wheels off of that thing.
Oh,
already.
My God. I'd love to have one now. Hell with
they ain't even used it once. I'm like, what's wrong with these freaking kids nowadays, man? But now I guess they claim they can't find anywhere to ride it, but hell, I'd already be in jail by now with riding that thing somewhere. I'd be sneaking that thing off in the road riding it. So, I don't get it, man. These kids nowadays, they just are. I call them tablet boys because
I need one that sits about 6 inches off the ground with knobbies on it for where I ride.
Yeah, this one I got, the wheels are kind of slick and it spins in the grass. So they really need a track for it to go on. But But they don't even bug their dad about it. They don't even say, "Hey, we want to, go take that go kart." They don't even act like they care. Now they got. Did you happen to see that electric bicycle I sent you on Messenger, Craig?
No,
That
I'm
thing.
pretty
Oh yeah,
familiar with electric bikes, though.
yeah. That thing goes. I think uh, 70 miles an hour or
Yeah, they
something.
got one that goes 60. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. That's about $5,000 for them bicycles.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
imagine they're pretty pricey.
they're nice, man.
And then they last for like a long time too
Yeah,
on the
they've
charge.
got 50-mile range or even more than
That's
that.
crazy. 50
100-mile range,
miles.
something. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
depends how fast you're going as your range. I got an electric scooter, but the range you can only it's about 8 miles is what it's good for.
That must be
It
an
goes
old one.
18 mile an hour though.
Yeah, because I
When I
went.
take my car down to the shop, the shop's about 2 miles down the road, and I throw my electric scooter in the back and drop my car off, and I jump on that scooter and ride it home along the road.
Well, we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They had these scooters laying all over around. Like you grab them, and then you go on an app on your phone, and then you
Yeah.
you load in your information, and then activates the scooter, and then you just leave it wherever on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
And
they
that
got
was
them GPS locators on them. I guess they just go around and pick them up.
yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah, they're getting pretty fancy with those things. All right, jumping into the comments here. First one right off the bat is Rick Walker, the jackass. Um, and he's not really a jackass. He's a pretty cool guy. He was drinking that one night. What it was that band Second Helping. The guy Chris was talking some trash about Gary, and he's a big Gary Rossington fan, and he didn't like anybody talking smack about Gary, so he had a few beers, and he goes, well, Second Helping sucks, because he was talking some smack about Gary, and then he left a nasty comment, and then that's when I got in there and called him a jackass, and so since then, we met a few times and went and had lunch, and he's donated some money to Gene. He was up at the monument, and he don't live that far from Gene or me. He's actually head of maintenance at a marina in Eustis, and I'm going to take my boat over there one of these days because there's a chain of lakes over there and hook up with him. And because I've never been on that chain with my boat. So with Bad Company 2, TOO. So yeah, I might have to hook up with him. Or maybe I'll rent a boat there and go bass fishing because it's almost time for bass season now, Craig. Another couple months they'll be on the bed. And so that's what I look forward to is this time of year coming up. Anyway, Rick Walker says, Merry Christmas to all the Skynyrd fanatics that we are. I'm going to throw in my 2 cents on the Alan Collins video. I don't think there is any way that was him only days after the crash, given his injuries. Well, that's my jackass opinion. Merry Christmas to Griff and Craig, and happy new beers to all the Skynyrd fans. So appreciate that there, Rick, and I'll be in touch with you, buddy. And then Kimmy, which Kimmy, she got a little mad at us because we hadn't been, but she changed her.
She got a phone. Yeah, she got a new phone.
Yeah, but she posted under Kimmy again. So here you go, Kimmy.
Yeah,
Kimmy says
now she's got her own phone. She's Kimmy again. Yeah.
she says she is glad she saw the video before it got removed. Yeah, if you didn't get to see that video, I don't know if you can still see it out there or not, but it was interesting, kind of controversial. But it was supposedly Alan, with a an appliance on his arm, which that he did have that thing on his arm because I saw him playing at a bar with that thing on his arm, and that video's out there somewhere. So it might have had something to do with that at the same period of time.
I'd hate to have that on my arm and bump it into something hard,
Oh
man.
God,
Yeah,
man.
that would
Yeah.
be weird, in my opinion.
Yeah, they do those too, like with compound fractures and things. Like if they got to put you in traction and they put those things, because yeah, I knew several people that have had compound fractures, and when you get a compound fracture in your leg, you're in the bed for like a month and you ain't moving. They've got a weight in your legs up in the air and stuff like. I got a buddy who just went through that in a motorcycle wreck, still dealing with it. And they put some big rods down his legs, and oh man, it's nasty.
I
So
would,
yeah,
I would, I would speculate that when Alan was in the hospital looking at that arm, he was wondering if he would ever be able to play guitar again. So I
yeah,
imagine that was like the first thing he wanted to try to do was try to play guitar again. So and knowing Alan, I can see where he would do that, you know, as soon as
yeah. So
possible.
I mean, there's going to be some people digging into that a little more. So I think there's going to be more to come on the outcome of that thing because people they're wanting to know about the guitar he was playing and the amp and all of that stuff.
That's what's puzzling to me because it wasn't Steve's because we kind of found that it was stuck in the mud out there, and Bob Gaines got that and had to put a neck on it. So it couldn't have been Steve's. I knew it didn't come off the truck because those guitars were all the way in the front of the truck. Um, well, the lights had to come off the truck first, and then the band gear. But those guitars were all the way in the front of the truck. So
Yeah, so it's kind of, and like a couple people have told me about that. His arm didn't look swollen. That hole in his arm, it didn't look like it. It just looked like a hole. It didn't look like it was draining. There was no bruising, no
it looked
swelling.
awful dry. Yeah, it looked didn't
Yeah,
look. It looked
something
like
ain't right about that.
it looked like a
And
wound that was a couple months old to me. Looked like it was healing. And
yes,
a few days after, it wouldn't look like that. I wouldn't think.
Bobby Peak comments and says, "That's really stupid. No doctor would do that to set his arm. He would be in too much pain to try to play the guitar." Well, you know, if they were trying to get him to, see if he could play the guitar and they had him on some pain meds, some of those pain meds, man, you can get through the pain,
But
Uh,
can you feel that? You have to feel that your fingertips to play guitar, though,
yeah,
don't you?
yeah, which is this. That's what he's saying.
Because that's my problem. I can't. My finger, I have feeling there, but it's not good enough to, you know, I mean, I can't play guitar anyways, but
Why can't you feel in
I
your
really have
fingers?
issues with it now. I can't really feel the ends of my fingers.
Oh,
I
why?
mean,
You
I
got
can
some
tell if I
nerve?
touch it, I can tell I'm touching it, but it's just a tingly feeling. I don't know. It's weird.
Huh?
It's when I got
Maybe.
my elbow shattered right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they
Was that
messed my
from the plane
nerves up.
crash?
No, I fell on the ice and shattered my elbow, and
Oh, you talking about when you
they had to
slipped on
put
your
a steel
porch?
rod, a steel plate here in my arm. But then
Oh,
they had to
yeah.
take it out because I fell on it again and dislodged it. But it's all healed now. But yeah, something's wrong with my nerves in my hand.
Hmm. Yeah, so I got you, Bobby. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Something ain't right about that. And then Thunder Drums Spencer says that video is pure dog shit. Says, look at the video. He said that stage background in the hospital don't look right. He said, and he said that arm would have been swelling and black and blue. His fingers would not have worked. Horse shit, boys. It's pure horse shit.
His fingers
Yeah,
looked pretty freaking limber. I'll tell you. I was watching.
yeah,
They
it
looked
was,
like
it
he
was
had.
a little. He was
Yeah,
playing too good, man. He
yeah.
was playing better than most people that don't even have an arm problem. So the more we look at it, the more it's yeah. And then John Rafferty says that is Alan for sure. The guitar playing sounds just like him, which maybe they took something that they had from Alan and then they kind of AI'd some crap in there, because I've been seeing a lot of AI stuff on Facebook. They're showing these actors, how some of these actors that are dead, and then they show them going back in time and all these movie roles and getting up out of the wheelchair, and then 10 years younger, and then 10 years younger than yet that, and different movie roles, and it's all AI generated. It's amazing. It's amazing how they do that, but they could have done that crap on this video here too. Somebody might argue about it, and who knows? You can't ever tell. Nathan Smith, on a different note, says, I saw APB and got to talk to Barry Lee Harwood after the show. He's a very cool guy. Gave me his autograph. Got it with the Hell House stickers that you guys gave me. Yeah, I wonder what he said about those Hell House stickers there. I know I've got one that Artimus signed. I didn't get him to sign it, but Paul Connolly, I don't have one here I can show, but it looks like the painting that you see. And he handed Artimus a bunch of those stickers, and Artimus thought it was a picture. And he goes, where am I at in this picture? And he goes, that's not a picture. Because it looked like one of those pictures, one of the old pictures that you took, like, back in the day, Craig, like you would get developed, because the sticker's about that size. It's about this size, And Artemis thought it was a picture that he was in, and he goes, where am I in this picture? And Paul said, no, man, that's a sticker. That's not even a picture. So
The skull and crossbones sticker, yeah. I still have some of those. I'm the only one that ever had those.
oh, you got some of those? Skull and
yeah.
crossbone? Yeah, he was talking about the Hell House ones that I think that he got from me.
Oh. Because I was confused because I have a picture of Alan and Ronnie sitting on the couch at the Hell House, and one of those skull and crossbones stickers is behind on their head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't have that picture?
I don't have it handy now.
No? Huh. And then Palo Vincent has a question for you. Craig, did you see the video where Artimus says his wife made dinner for y'all before you got on the plane?
No, that was in the movie.
That was in the movie. Were you at the dinner?
We didn't have no dinner at our Artemis's house. I've said that before. That was all bullshit.
Okay, that's the question.
After the gig in Greenville, we must have pissed off the limo drivers, because when we went, we didn't have limos there in Greenville to go to Artemis's house. Like the movie said, we were in limos. We pissed off them limo drivers, and the next day when we were wanting to go to the airport to leave, they didn't show up. and we had to call taxi cabs and vans for all the luggage and everything. Yeah, and I was the last one to get on the plane that I remember. I remember going up the back stairs, getting out of the taxi and going up the back steps, and Mark Howard moved over so I could sit on the aisle seat. But I don't remember how long we sat there, because they were speculating whether we sat there with the engines running for a long time.
So you didn't go to dinner at Artemis's house?
No, hell no. We didn't have cars.
Okay.
No, that didn't happen.
That's like
hardly anything in Artemis's movie really happened.
Like all those girls that were topless. And
that's all bullshit.
Around.
We never had any parties like that where women were sitting around naked and we were sitting on doing drugs and the girls were snorting cocaine. That's all bullshit.
Yeah.
We never did that. We did a lot of stuff, but it wasn't like that.
That's like Leslie told me. She goes, I didn't really appreciate that part of the movie because my grandkids, will see that and think that was kind of crap was going on. She said that never happened.
No, that whole party shit never, like the way.
Yeah, with the girls all sitting around with no top
doing
on
blow and all that. That shit never happened. Not the way it happened, but not with a lot of people like that. It never happened like that.
Yeah, maybe it happened in,
it happened privately,
room.
but not in a big party where girls were sitting around topless snorting coke. No, that never happened.
Right, yeah. Well, shit, man. It's just like you putting all those donations in your pocket. That didn't happen either, did it, Craig? So, he can talk some trash, so can you. And Winslow Red Cross says, Alan Collins stated at the end of this interview, which if you look at her comment, she has a link in there that you can click on. This is Winslow Red Cross. She says at the end of this interview that he was playing a guitar just 2 weeks after the crash. I think that's when the video may have been recorded. I guess the one that that they took down. So she says that if you go to Winslow Red Cross, there she's got a link. Click on that link, and then Alan's talking about an interview where he said he was playing guitar 2 weeks after the plane crash. So go check that out there under her comment. I didn't get a chance to look at that yet. I got to go back and check that out. And I can't put these videos up on the podcast anymore because I'm afraid that, we're going to get copyright pinged on that and they'll pull the channel down if they find too many of them. So we got to start being careful with the posting YouTubes and things that are copyright, protected. I'm going to have to start being careful with that kind of stuff. Shady C. Hey, Craig, if Ronnie were still alive today, do you think he would be a Republican or a Democrat?
I don't see how anybody with any common sense or half a brain could be a damn Democrat, in my opinion. My personal bias of
Johnny and Donnie are Republicans.
Yeah. Well, I think they have common sense.
I asked Gene the same question. I said, "Hey, what would Ronnie think about these politics?" He said, "Ain't no way in hell Ronnie Van Zant would be a damn Democrat. I'm gonna tell you that right now."
Well, we did do when we were going to do that show for Jimmy Carter, and he was like the worst president ever. So, but but we didn't do it because Jimmy said he would show up, and like a lying bastard that politicians are, he didn't show up, so Ronnie didn't play.
I found a ballpoint pen. I found a ballpoint pen at the crash site. With it says Billy Carter, home of Billy Carter, Plains, Georgia, on the ballpoint pen. So you guys had a pen on there, a Billy Carter pen. I got that. I found it at the crash site. I'll have to dig that thing out and show it on the next podcast. It's a ballpoint pen. I tried to get it to write, but it's so old it won't write. But
I remember.
cool
I wonder if
right.
everybody. I bet there's people out there that don't remember that Billy Beer.
The Billy Beer, yeah. His brother was kind of an embarrassment to him.
Yeah, Billy Beer.
Yeah, so you're saying no way he'd be a Democrat, right, Craig?
No. Ain't no way anybody with any common sense would be a damn Democrat.
There you go, Shady.
Any love for your country, my God. It's crazy.
You know, and that whole Rob Reiner thing where he got stabbed and all that, you know, he was talking some trash, you know, saying he wished Trump would have got shot.
He wished he wouldn't have turned his head, and he said maybe the next time they won't miss. Yeah, he was a piece of shit, man. And
they make a big deal out of these movie stars anyway. I remember back, when Ted Kennedy was alive, and he had the brain tumor. And they had this whole special on TV about Ted Kennedy and his brain tumor, right? And so this is when I really lost respect for the media, because they're talking about the Ted Kennedy brain tumor, and the tumor is so many millimeters, and then they go, oh, this just in, a bus has crashed, killing 15 children on a bus that ran off of a road in California, and 5 kids are missing. Now back to the Ted Kennedy brain tumor. Like, I mean, how important, you got 15 kids that died and 5 missing on a bus, and they spend 2 seconds on that, and they're back to the Ted Kennedy brain tumor. I'm like, who cares about Ted Kennedy's brain tumor? You got freaking kids missing off of a bus. What's more important? Oh man, we got some screwed up news people out there. Shady C. Yeah, there's your answer, man. Republican for sure. Not a Democrat. Got a Domer says, cool intro pick. Can't tell if that's AI or is that someone's memorabilia. No, that's Gary's collection at the beginning of the podcast. That picture that's up while the song's playing. That's Gary's equipment. That's his amps and guitars and his hat hanging there. And
but that's not the collection that the guy in the recent podcast is talking about. That's
that's just like a little
picture. Yeah, that was that I haven't even watched that whole thing yet. Like I said before, when Gary left Jacksonville, he had maybe 10 guitars, so he accumulated. Right. I guess I heard that he had 75 now. So he accumulated quite a few guitars.
Yeah, which
But I remember the violin, or the violin. I remember he got that. He had that. I remember that one. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him trying to play that.
Oh, he tried to play it?
Oh yeah. Well, of course. If I had one, I'd try.
Did you hear him? Did you hear him trying to play?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I heard once, or maybe once. I think I tried to hear him. He was just laughing at himself trying to play it with the bow. He was
if anybody
laughing.
Could figure it out, he could.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, he had just got it. He was showing it to me. He was going,
was he laughing his ass off?
Well, he probably didn't rosin up the bow or nothing. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure. I bet he was hanging around old Charlie Daniels, probably broke that thing out a time or two, and Gary probably tried to play Charlie's.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
Old
he got. I
Charlie,
remember
man,
when
he
he
was
got that.
good.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Yeah, so that picture there, Domer, is Gary's. Is a picture. It's kind of like a celebration of Gary Rossington thing at the beginning there. So look at it real close, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Then John Rafferty saw a clip of Griff getting down on one of Alan's guitars. Rock on. Oh, that's when I went over to Steve Reynolds' place, and he had that white guitar of Alan, that promo guitar that everybody got. What was that white guitar,
A
Craig?
guild.
Guild,
A guild.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Guild.
Yeah. When
Yeah,
Gary was in the hospital, I'd go and see him about every day and take him a Butterfinger. He was he'd call me, Craig, remember me a Butterfinger. And I was sitting there. He goes, man, I need an acoustic guitar. I said, what do you want? And he goes, I don't know. And for some reason, I called Guild. I called Guild right there from his hospital. And hey, man, send me a guitar, and they did. And it was real nice, man. He said he wanted a jumbo, hollow body, acoustic jumbo.
this one was an electric, white electric. And I took it over and let Barry Lee Harwood play it. I got that on video somewhere.
Those are all metal.
Barry Lee was looking at it, and he said, "Yeah, I remember these." And you said that Guild gave them gave
Yeah,
Gary?
yeah. They after I got Gary that acoustic, they wanted Skynyrd to play Guild guitars, so they sent me some.
some
Or
electric,
sent,
that white
yeah,
electric.
sent Gary two and Alan two, and Alan had I forget, one was the white one he fixed up and put a whammy bar on. He kind of liked that. And then Gary had a couple, but they were going to make an Alan Collins edition,
Yeah, that's that one that I played, was that white one. And then I took it over to, actually, Steve Reynolds brought it. He brought the amp over. He had a little amp that he brought over, and he brought that white guitar, and then Barry Lee remembered it. So, yeah, that was one of the guitars Alan really liked. He said, I don't know how Steve Reynolds got
As a
it.
Guild, Guilds are nice guitars.
Yeah.
They're not really made known for electric. They're known for more acoustics. But.
Then Jerome Murphy wants to know, what time frame was it when you met John Lennon? Was it between 73 and 75? Because that, and I talked about that before. That you met him during John Lennon's Lost Weekend when he was hanging out with May Pang.
It had to have been right around my freaking birthday, which is February 2nd, and it would have been 1974.
Yeah,
and I was only with them for like a month. Not even a month. Yeah, maybe 3 weeks.
I bet Nielsen was with him, and you didn't even know it because you don't.
Possibly there was some guy. There was a guy. It was John Lennon and some guy, and what was her name? May Pang.
May Pang.
I remember. Yeah, it was John and some guy. I don't know who the guy was.
Nielsen.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know.
Craig.
I don't know.
Craig was there. Paul Rogers was standing right beside him, and Craig was looking at looking for the for the funeral brochures, and didn't even that was probably Nielsen. That was probably
it might have been. I didn't know who
Pang.
Nielsen was back then.
Oh, they were hanging together, man, during that whole
There was
time.
a guy. We all had. I had lunch with the guy, or brunch or whatever, with the guy. I don't even know who he was.
I guarantee you it was frickin' John Lennon, Nielsen, and May Pang.
Well, God, everybody in the freaking place was gawking at us the whole time we were there. Everybody was it was really weird because we're sitting there eating and everybody's sitting there and the whole place is watching you eat going, wonder who that guy there is, It was
Yeah,
weird.
well, they knew that they were famous and they were trying to figure
They
out
were
who
looking at
you
me
were.
going, who in the hell's that screwball? That roadie or whatever.
That's like when I was doing that working on that movie with Ryan Gosling and I didn't even really know. I knew he was an actor. I didn't know how famous he was. And then whenever I went over, they sent me to get this cart that had this a thing where you load the film inside this thing so it don't get light on it. And the guy goes, "Hey, can you go get that cart and bring it back over?" So I go underneath this yellow tape, and all these girls were like, "Oh, what did Ryan say to you? And how do you know Ryan?" And all this. I'm like, oh my God, man, and I went back over and I said, "Hey, man, all these freaking girls over there." When he goes, "Oh yeah," he goes, and then when I went home and I asked my sister who he was, and she told me about that movie, The Notebook. And then I watched that movie and I realized, that was a big chick flick movie and that all the women love Ryan Gosling. So yeah, I probably could have got some of his side stuff, man, if I'd have just thought about it at the time. But yeah, there you go, Jerome Murphy. That was John Lennon's Lost Weekend, and Craig was part of it. Kind of like Forrest Gump.
It was right around February of 1974.
Probably Nielsen and May Pang. And
Right
then
around the
Lennon
1st of February.
he bought your lunch, didn't he, Craig? He paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too many people can say John Lennon bought them lunch.
Yeah, and I was only making $5 a day back then. Per diem, that was my per diem money.
You just ran into that shit. You don't even remember. You don't even remember any conversation you had with him, do you?
No, I didn't say much. I was just,
What did he say? Hey, come over and have lunch. How did you get to eat lunch with him? What did you do to get to?
Well, I was when I was walking out the door, I said, that's when I said, you know who you are? And then when they came out of the studio and they were I was out there by the pinball machines. They had to walk right past me, and they goes, "Hey, come on, go have brunch with us." And so I walked across the street with them, and then Skinner came out of the studio looking for John Lennon. They goes, "What happened to John Lennon?" They goes, "He went across the street to have lunch, and I think he's got one of your roadies with him."
Oh, damn. What was it? Was it a diner over there? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's
Diner?
a little coffee shop diner. Yeah, it wasn't a big restaurant.
And what was the name of the studio? It was the
Record plant.
Record plant. I have to look that up, see if there's a restaurant over there. Maybe I can.
Right across the street.
Yeah, one of you guys look that up, man, and put in the comments if you can find out what restaurant that was. And Craig was part of the Lost Weekend. John Lennon. Oh, John Rafferty. I know Artimus is a huge liberal, Trump hater, and talks shit about Gene and Craig, but he is a super nice guy. I saw him at Ronnie Van Zant Park where he introduced Alan and Gary's mom. Well, there's a sweet Artie and a sour Artie. You just, from what I understand, he's got two sides to him. So, if you piss him off, you don't even want to like mention Craig's name or Gene's name while you're around him. Like the guy, he goes, "Hey man, I donated to the Stone Roadie show." And he's like, "What's the Stone Roadie show?" That's that podcast Craig's got, "Oh, you donated to that, huh?" "Yeah, well, that went right in his pocket." You know, so yeah, you don't want to mention Craig or Gene. If you bring that up to Artie, you're going to get a sour Artie. You know, but if you talk about, you know, like maybe, man, that's a bummer how you got shot in the arm over there, you know, and he'll probably be, yeah, you know, it was rough. So, which
Most
I heard
people
is,
that know Artemis would tell you if somebody comes up and goes, "Yeah, I talked to Artemis." A person that really knows Artemis will go, "Oh yeah, which Artemis did you meet? Which one? I met Artemis. Which one?"
but you know, the guy's been through hell,
Oh, he's a
you know,
great guy. Yeah, I don't know why he's got the
so
ass
I
at
mean,
me.
you
I don't know.
gotta, you know, you gotta take the good with the bad, you know. I mean, I could see, you know, why he's got a sour side, with everything he's been through, you know, accusations made upon him. And then, of course, you know, being in a plane crash, that kind of gives you a reason to be kind of jacked up just that for that alone. Um, Jason Paul, I only recently found this podcast and love it. I have been a lifelong Lynyrd Skynyrd fan. Got to see them right before Gary passed away. Uh, could you please discuss anything you know about Alan Collins' Carina Explorer? Well, Craig, you know, if anybody knows about that Explorer, would be you. You got
It was
anything?
basically stock, except for the tremolo bar he put on it. It was stock.
Yeah, he didn't change the pickups in that or
No, why
anything.
would you change patent applied for us? That wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah, I mean, he
Those are
didn't do
very
anything because
sought
Brandon
out.
Miller said he did something different to him, I think. You know, he
I
had
don't know
something
why you
certain.
would mess with patent applied for pickups. You know, that wouldn't make much sense.
And so talk about the strings, just so Jason Paul can, you know, what
We
kind of
used
strings did he put on there, Craig?
DiMargio's, and they
Yeah.
were 10, 13, 17, 26, 36, 46,
And what year was that? You remember what year the guitar was?
58.
58. And you know where he got it?
Got it off the same guy that Gary got his Bernice off of, and I
He
think
didn't
it
get it
was
from Eric Clapton, which
no,
everybody's
some guy.
there.
I think through Gruen or kind of close to the Gruen thing or something. Somebody. I just remember it was the same guy that came to the hotel with Gary with Bernice is the same guy that had the Explorer, and from what I remember, he paid $4,000 for the Explorer. Gary paid $2,500 for Bernice. I remember that, and I
And
think
where is that guitar at now?
Bernice
No,
or the
no,
Explorer.
the
I don't
Explorer.
know. I don't
Does the
know.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame have it?
There's
Seems like,
there's there's rumors that they do, but I was just up there and they didn't have anything at Gary's or
well, they
Skinner.
might have had it in the vault or something.
They might, but they don't have any. They didn't have anything on display. They did have Bernice up there on display, but I heard that they got Bernice back. That they Dale did or the family, yeah, they got it back. But I heard, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Jason Paul. You know, you asked, and Craig has gone over the Carina Explorer there for you. So, you know, that's a new listener who just discovered the podcast and got a question answered. So there you go, man. See, you know, you new listeners put comments down, questions and things, and we'll ask the Stoned Roadie whatever question you have. So Bob C, did Gary Rossington or did the Rossington Collins band originally start recording at Studio One in Duraville? This is interesting, Craig. You got to check this question out. Did the Rossington Collin bands originally start recording at Studio One in Doraville, Georgia, but leave there to go to Texas to finish the recording? I think it was during Super Jam at Studio One. Anyway, a friend of mine tried to break up a fight between Gary and Alan at the North Lake Hilton or Sheraton Hotel bar not far from the studio, and Alan broke his jaw. They had to wire his jaw shut, and he had to sue, and he sued Alan. Do you remember that?
No, that never happened.
No?
No.
You don't remember Alan breaking somebody's jaw? He says his friend's jaw got broken by Alan, and he got sued.
No.
And that happened at the Sheraton Hotel, not far from the studio there. And
yeah, I know the Sheraton Hotel. But no.
So you don't remember? Maybe you weren't there. You
During
don't remember
what? Roston and Collins? We never went
Yeah.
to Studio One with Roston and Collins. We went to do El Adobe in El Paso, Texas. Me and Mike Sparks went there, and we never went to Studio One in Georgia. And the whole that's when Dale was writing the songs, and she was like, she had, Alan and Gary were coming up with this music, and she had to write the songs. And I went to Kmart or something like that. Went and bought her an electric typewriter, and she sat in the front out there and wrote songs on the typewriter. I distinctly remember that. We never went to Doraville, Georgia, and we can get Mike Sparks on, and we can
Well, Bob C,
compare notes, because me and Mike Sparks went right. We went to El Adobe, and that's where Dale started writing, right there at El Adobe. So no, we never went to Doraville, Georgia.
Well, Bob C, get your buddy that supposedly that Craig's calling bullshit on. Get your buddy and get him. And
now the second album that we went there. To Doraville.
Okay, well, he says Alan broke his buddy's jaw. You get your buddy, and we'll bring him on the podcast, and we'll talk about that, man. We'll definitely do that. That's
happened.
If somebody sued Alan for breaking their jaw, we want to hear about that. We want to bring him on the podcast. Greg says that shit didn't happen.
I don't remember, so it might have happened and I don't remember, but I don't remember that.
Hell, Alan might have done it just
he didn't
reaching for his beer. Who knows?
He didn't hit nobody.
Okay, well, Bob C, more to come, man. Craig's saying that's bullshit. He's calling bullshit on that. And Craig will call bullshit on something he don't agree with. There's been many a guy that tries to claim something happened. Like Craig will say that a guy will come up to him and say, "Man, I was a roadie for Lynyrd Skynyrd," and Craig will be sitting there listening to this guy, and Craig will go, "Oh yeah, well you're lying because I."
Oh, that happened when I worked with Marshall Tucker. That happened quite a few times. Backstage, people trying to get backstage, and some guy go, I used to be a roadie for Lynyrd Skynyrd, and I go over, "Oh, did you really? What did you do?" Oh my God, yeah, that happened all the time. Not all the time, but a few times.
Well, maybe this guy, maybe his buddy told him that, and he's just passing the story on. Maybe he wasn't there. Maybe it's just a secondhand story. But Craig says it's bullshit.
All of us roadies from Marshall Tucker and Charlie Daniels and Skinner, and we all knew each other. I mean, we hung around all the time.
Then Shelman Brandon, I read that little thing about that Pepper wrote about her dad, setting the story straight as far as the allocations against him. And Shelman Brandon, good for Pepper. Now Artemis needs to set the record straight about getting shot. Oh,
One
hell.
thing's for sure, like what's it, Mozart's wife, whatever her name is, she said it was a 243 rifle. One thing's for sure, he didn't get shot with no 243 rifle. I'll tell you that. He wouldn't be playing drums.
Oh, I could. Old Gene said that somebody saw Artemis' shoulder, and that there's a definite scar there. And Gene said, "Yeah, he took a damn cigarette and burned a hole." So Artemis, if you're listening, man, I didn't. Gene's the one that said that. I don't mean to stir up some shit, but that's Gene thinks that scar's from a cigarette. So
Well, I've seen all the hospital records, and that wasn't on his sheet.
yeah.
There was nothing on
Well,
his
maybe
sheet.
he just got
He had broken
grazed.
cartilage and.
Maybe he just got grazed. Maybe it bounced off a rock and hit him, and he got grazed. You never know, Craig. You never know, man. Stranger things.
I don't know.
Stranger things have happened. Also, Shelman Brandon. I believe this is the same person. Al Cooper says Lynyrd Skynyrd covered Bob Dylan's Ballad of Hollis Brown, and that it was chilling. Craig, was that before your time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Hollis Brown. Yeah, I don't. I've heard
The Ballad of Hollis Brown.
Yeah, I've heard of
Yeah.
Hollis Brown, but I don't know.
It's a Bob Dylan thing. It must have been in an Al Cooper interview. I've been seeing a lot of Al Cooper interviews lately. Some of them I had never seen before.
Did you see that thing I posted about Al Cooper going to Bob Dylan's recording? And
that may be what this.
And he was
this
a studio guitar player, and Al showed up, and there was some other guitar player there that was really smoking, and Al knew that he wasn't going to get to play guitar, so he went into the studio and was listening and said, I can play an organ part to that. And Al said he wasn't. It was a good thing, man. And they used it on one of that.
They did?
On the Bob Dylan record. And it's a very distinguishable organ part. And
What song is it?
God, I can't remember, but it's real. It's real distinguishable. The organ part in it, and I guess that the studio guy didn't even want Al to play on it. And then when they were playing it back, Bob Dylan was going, turn the organ up. And the guy goes, that guy's just a chump. And he goes, turn the organ up. And
Really?
it was a cool thing. And Al said, Hammond B3 is a hard thing to fire up. He said, I didn't even know how to fire it up. I just went out there, and then he said I couldn't hear it, because the Leslie was over in another room covered up with a blanket so it wouldn't interfere with the rest of the instruments. And all I had was in my headphones. I really couldn't hear it. It was cool as shit, man.
So you could hear the organ pretty good in there?
Oh God, yeah. It's very distinguishable. And that Bob Dylan song is very distinguishable. I can't think of the song though right now. It's a real famous one though.
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Is that on your Facebook page, that interview?
Yeah,
I'll have to go look that up and listen to that. maybe that's what he's got this from. Maybe that's the same interview, and you just didn't, and when we just didn't hear that part of the interview because he's talking about Bob Dylan. So, yeah, I'm gonna go on your Facebook page and see if I can't find that.
Yeah, it was real cool.
Well, Al Cooper, man, he was around some shit. Now
He said you just got to be in the right place at the right time. He was just a studio musician. Al's a pretty good guitar player.
Yeah,
You know, he really is.
All right. Well, that concludes the comments and questions, and so happy trails, and
To you.
you guys. Look out for Craig and Kathy on the Christmas special coming up. So I don't know what day is it. Is it going to be Christmas Eve or
Yeah,
when,
Christmas
Craig?
Eve. I guess we're going to do it Christmas Eve, I guess. From what I understand, I don't know. She'll let me know.
All right. Looking forward to it.
Okay. Like the
It's a
song
wrap.
says, he might sing Happy Trails, sing to you when it's all over or whatever it says. But happy trails to you until we meet again, and see you later, alligator at the Wild Crocodile. And that's 342.
Was it